Okay, House John. And like I said, I'm stuck in this area of Alabama where there's crackheads for like 10 square miles around me. So I don't leave. I'm thinking I'm gonna go up to Huntsville. Thing is, like, I came to this part of Alabama because my good friend Jonathan East lives here. I wanted to get to know the guy. I'm good friends with him now, and so I can, you know, he's really the only guy I know I've met. Well, besides, see, the only cool people I've met in Alabama, they're all Southern rock musicians. They all seem to be the best people you can meet down here in Alabama. And the guys who do barbecue, they always seem to be the best people to know in Alabama. People who smoke, run smoke barbecue businesses, and the musicians, the actual people who play in the bands, always tend to be the best people to know around Alabama. They always be, they're straight up, they're decent, they're cool. They don't seem to have the problems all the other type of people have. But anyway, I want to bitch about how they got evolution so backwards. Okay, we're all, okay, I'm gonna go back to the Neanderthals, and like, science, the archaeologists are trying to act like, okay, they were basically the first humans were Neanderthals, and they act like all Neanderthals were stupid. Their whole thing is that the males were all average like 5'7", 130 pounds. They say, they were small, they were little guys, and but they were like broad because of the weather conditions. I think that is so wrong. First of all, because see, apparently people like with scientists, they don't have the ability of rational sense. They just don't have any rational sensibility. They really don't. They're the ones that come up with the blanket statements. They're the ones that make all these blanket statements that are so wrong. It's not how the real world works. Okay, scientists, archaeologists, because they go by these old bones that they find that are like millions of years, thousands of years old. They have no idea where they came from or who they came from. They have no idea. Okay, in my belief, Neanderthals, we're actually like technology is evolving. To me, humans are devolving. As technology grows, humans are shrinking in their abilities as technology grows and takes more. To me, Neanderthals were smarter. They were naturally smarter than we are. They were, on average, bigger than us. I think they came in all sizes just like we do. Neanderthals came in all sizes like we do now. Okay. I think they were bigger on average because they would have had to been bigger on average to survive against the bigger predators they had to go against without using guns. So you archaeologists are a bunch of dumbasses. You are so wrong about evolution. You got it ass backwards. You got it ass backwards. And I have modern society to prove my point. Not your little stupid little bones you find. I mean, yeah, we have midgets. We have in America, modern human sapiens. We have people who are 4 feet tall. We have 5 foot adults called midgets, dwarfs. They had them back then in the damn Neanderthal times. Okay, they had little people too, and they had big people just like we have now. Okay, it's so stupid. But seriously, these people who think they're so smart, they're actually the dumbest people in the real world. The archaeologists or whatever, they're actually the biggest idiots in the real rational world because nothing they come up with makes any rational sense. Because the only way we can kind of look at, see, because, even back like 20, 50,000 years ago, whatever, they still needed the three basic things we need today to survive. They needed food, clothing, and shelter. Okay? They survived with, I mean, so no, it's totally wrong. Neanderthals were smarter than the Neanderthals were smarter than the Cro-Magnons. They were smarter. Do you know why the Cro-Magnons beat them? They were meaner. They were meaner. Okay? You know how the British wiped out the Aborigines? That's how the Cro-Magnons, same way, wiped out the Neanderthals. They backstabbed them. They betrayed them. That's how they beat them. They weren't smarter. The Neanderthals were smarter than the Cro-Magnon men. They were just too much of a pacifist. That's how the Cro-Magnon men beat them. They backstabbed them. They were dumber than the Neanderthals. And human evolution has been getting dumber I think it's getting dumber. It's getting dumber, it's getting smaller, and it's getting softer, and it's getting weaker as it goes. Neanderthals were the epitome of humans when they were around. They were big, they were all bigger, they were all stronger, they were all smarter. Okay? I mean, it's so stupid to think that, okay? I mean, try to imagine, the biggest Neanderthals, according to the stupid ass archaeologists, think the average guy was 5'9", 135 pounds. They wouldn't have lasted. They would have been the shortest species of man ever to exist instead of the longest one. That's how the reality would have worked. Okay? So according to these archaeologists, and the average predator back then was way bigger than now, and there was way more of them back then because, see, we have guns now. Modern man has guns. We have weapons where we can take out animals at a much faster pace than they could back then when they didn't have guns. Okay? Like, one man with a gun, he can take out way more, like, bears than a whole platoon of Neanderthals could, because the gun, it's like, so no, they had to been bigger back then to survive than we are now. They would have had to been way bigger to survive. Okay? They're going against bigger bears, they're going against bigger animals. Damn beavers were like 3-4 feet long. Rats were like 3 feet long back then. So no, archaeologists has evolution completely ass backwards. Okay? I mean, I don't have to see your crappy bones or your crappy discoveries. It doesn't prove anything. You have to go by what works now. What works now worked then, except now we have more technology. But as far as humans, we both needed the same basic skills to survive. And we have, like I said, it doesn't make any sense. Okay? So supposedly you had these small little dumb guys, okay, trying to survive against bigger, smarter predators without any guns. They wouldn't have lasted 5 years. Okay? Because they had way more bears back then we have now. Because they didn't have guns to take them out at a faster pace back then that we do now. So all your archaeologists, I would like to debate one of you idiots. Okay? And I don't want to see any of your freaking evidence, because it doesn't mean a damn thing. It's thousands of years old. You don't know where that crap came from. Okay? You're just making up shit so you can get paid. So, the older I get, the more I see how we've been fooled by these so-called archaeologists, geniuses, scholars. They're the biggest idiots in the real world. Nothing they ever come up with makes any rational sense, because they're complete morons who fake it, and they're just good at. They have the devil's tongue. All these scholars have a devil's tongue. They're good at spreading their bullshit and try and convince people it's real. That's what scholars are. In the real world, they're complete imbeciles. Nothing they say matches up, common sense wise, with the actual real world that we know it. And I just started thinking about it. I'm talking to more people about Neanderthals, and they had to go against short-faced bears that were way bigger than the bears we have now. And if they were all a bunch of little runts that were stupid and slow, no, they would have been bear meat, and they all would have been They would have been wiped out in the shortest amount of time of any human evolution, if they were supposed to be the way these archaeologists claim they were. Without any guns, they have no guns, right? And their spears and knives weren't even as good. They were basically dull rocks is all they had. And they went. And we already know how many shots how many times you have to shoot a damn grizzly bear to kill it with a high-powered rifle. You got to shoot the damn thing like 10 times to kill it. And the short-faced bear was bigger. So guess what? Those little stupid little spears and knives they were making, they wouldn't have done anything to those damn bears. They wouldn't have done anything. Okay? So the average Neanderthal, yeah, I think the Bigfoot you see, if you see Bigfoot, that's a Neanderthal. That's how big. The average Neanderthal would have had to been way bigger than the average human nowadays, and a lot smarter to survive back then, without technology doing it for them. That about do it.